Hello,
Hi,
I'm Jasmine,
and I'm Andrea.
and we're Natural Be Ewe Yarns.
Back again.
Back again on our third week of our fall floral knit-along.
You know, I think that's deceiving. We've just finished the second week.
Right, don't feel like you're falling behind.
Right, so...
I had a panic about that last night, didn't I? It's because I don't know which of my many artistic pursuits to put first. So I try to do everything. And maybe you're like me, and one of the things you definitely don't do is housework. But don't worry, we're just starting week 3, so we're halfway there.
What does housework got to do with it? The house is fine.
The house is fine. I just meant I got so much on my plate, I don't even think about the housework. For example, last night I was in a room.
All we ever do is clean the kitchen. It feels like we're always cleaning the kitchen.
3 times a day, I feel like I'm cleaning the kitchen. So I was rushing last night to finish off my first mitt.
I'm impressed with how
so that I
fast she
could
knit.
show you. I don't know. I hadn't touched it since Sunday, and they were about fingerless mitts then. And so I've got all my bobbles done and my decreases in my thumb. I really like the way this decreased. If any of you are doing the mitt and you've already gotten further than me, then you know that it's knit 2 together and slip knit for the decreases.
Mm-hmm. But every row?
Every other row until you get to the last 4, and then it's every row.
Oh, so it's hardly any Kitchener stitch, which is nice.
No, there's no Kitchener stitch whatsoever. You end up with, I think there are 8 or 9 stitches left, and you just you cinch them. You
put the yarn through it?
Yeah, you use your
nice.
Needle to put the, not your needle, your little weaving needle, darning needle, to put the leftover yarn tail through them and just cinch them shut. And same with the top of the mitt.
Oh,
it creates
nice.
this cute little, it almost looks like a flower itself, which is just fitting for the mitts.
You can always embroider a flower around the tip.
I was thinking about that. I really was. Maybe just on the thumb.
Quit making them wait.
Okay, so I really enjoyed that. That was fun. And then I started doing embroidery, and I've never really
It's beautiful. I can't believe how nice it is.
I've never been good at embroidery.
You should go really close.
A lot of people did ask about that, if they could do it if they didn't know how to do embroidery, and we said yes, and here's the proof.
And I was surprised because I thought that your flower yarn was going to be too bright against the background. But you put mohair in with it, right?
I know, so they all have a streak of gold in them, which really softens it.
Really softened it down.
So what I did for the flower is that I chose one from the center. You're supposed to, I forget what the stitch is called. I'll look it up in the pattern. But you're supposed to start in the center and head out. And then once you pull the yarn through, poke back up and head back to the center. That's the stitch that you're using, the embroidery stitch. And I started with the longest point and then sort of made each point shorter until my next petal, when I started with the longest point and made each stitch shorter, working my way around. And what I did to make it go faster is I actually doubled my yarn. So you're supposed to hold the mohair with one strand of your, well, they say main color, but I was using minis. These were the 3 minis I've used so far from the advent calendar, but you can use any minis. I recommend ours. And you're supposed to hold
our colors all go together nicely.
Yes, our colors are lovely. So you're supposed to hold it together with the mohair. But what I did, so you know how you knot one end? Once you've cut the string and you've put it through your darning needle, you knot one end of the embroidery. I knotted the 2 ends together so that it was double DK. So that each of the petals was even thicker, and it went by faster that way. Of course, it's tricky at the end when you're knotting it off. You've got to.
I don't actually do knots. I sort of weave it in.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And at the beginning, I leave a long piece on the back, and then at the very end, I weave that end in.
So I started with a knot. Well, I'll come closer to the camera, but I'm just going to show Andrea first. I started with a knot there.
It's probably a smarter way to do it. I don't really know the proper way to do it.
And then did them all, and then did a, what?
I
secured it, cut it so that you end up with 4 strings hanging, and I'm going to weave them in. I'll come to the camera now. I just found it went by faster. As you can see, there's
not really a right and a wrong
There's
way.
no right or wrong way. I started with a knot. Oh, there we go. Right there to secure the whole thing. I made my flower, and then I cut the tail of my yarn. I ended up with 4 strands, and I'm just going to weave them in. It's looking pretty good, even on the back side.
But of course, you had a system, whereas me, when I was doing the hairband, I erratically stitched from the center out and started back in the middle again, so it was kind of thicker all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't necessarily do one stitch beside the next one. I kind of went around. I did it randomly in different directions out from the center, and then sort of filled it in as I went.
Well, I actually had to go back to some of them and fill them in. So that makes sense to me. What I wanted to tell everyone, the reason I started on the palm was because I was afraid I'd make a mistake. But I don't think that you can mess this up. The flowers, if you look at the original pattern, don't even really have petals. It's just a bunch of chaos coming out from the center.
Yeah.
So you can't really go wrong. If you want them to look like they overlap, though, you kind of have to knit your embroidery, put your embroidery into where the other color is.
Well, that makes sense. Instead of just meeting at the edge, you kind of do some of the stitches right into the other one.
I'll show the
and then it hides it.
See, that's where I made them meet just at the edge.
Right.
And this is where I overlap them. You see?
And you can't tell that it's overlapped because the strands come together over top of where she went underneath.
Between the purple and the orangey pink is where I overlap them. And the pink and the purple, I hadn't learned that trick yet, so they just kind of barely touch.
But nobody's going to come up to you and say, let me see your hand, I want to check out your embroidery skills.
And nobody's going to tell you that you did it wrong, so...
No, they're all going to go, oh my God, look at the colors in that.
Yeah.
Which is what I did this morning.
Yeah, I can't wait till I do the front. I'm going to do this one up, and then I'm going to get started on my next mitten. And now that I know how it goes, I think it'll be easier. I just want to see all the colors played out, and I don't plan on doing it in the exact same pattern as the next one. Meaning the colors will be different. Not
like random?
Random. Not different. I'll use a lot of the same colors, but it'll be random.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like a bouquet in my hands.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She's so excited, isn't she?
I am. There was one thing I wanted to point out. I did a tutorial last week about how you pick up the left half of the stitch from the row below. Well, it was creating this, it cinched the hole, but it was creating a bit of a pull that I didn't quite like.
Jasmine, once it's embroidered, nobody will see it.
Nobody will see it, but if you want to have an easier way of doing it, what I found is rather than picking up the left side of the stitch from the row below, is just knit to the knot stitch, as you would, and then pick up the rung, like the leg, between the stitch you just knit and the knot stitch.
Rather than into the underneath stitch, you do it in the in-between one.
Yeah, the
right, yeah.
sort of rung.
Sort of like what you would do if you were doing a make one left or a make one right.
Yes. Now you want to put that on your needle front to back, so the wrong way around, and then knit those two together, and it creates a perfect
closure.
Yeah.
Sometimes just doing, you learn things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was my little nifty trick, and
I'm really looking forward to other people posting their progress. That would be really good to see. If you please take a picture and post it either on your own wall or on your own feed or in the group of the Year of Adventurous Knitting. If you're doing it on your page, please use the hash. It's snowing.
There's snow squall warnings.
Sorry.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Oh, no.
No, but the mitts will be done in time.
Yeah. So, anyway, the hashtag...
Fall Floral KAL, K-A-L.
Or our Natural You. yarn.
Well, tag us at Natural Ewe. You can also use the hashtag Year of Adventurous Knitting.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I just want to see all the pictures. If you use those hashtags, we'll see them. Like, we'll get notified.
Yes, we're following them. But good point. I do want to see some pictures. And I think people who aren't knitting the same things we're knitting, but are joining in a way, knitting something similar, have been a bit hesitant to post. So following this...
I'd like to see what everybody's knitting, regardless.
I'm going to make a post in the group of Adventures Knitting, Yak, and we're going to have a Whip Wednesday post and see where everyone's at.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be really nice. You want to see what I've done?
I really do.
Whew. I've been waiting. So anyway, I'm wearing my weekender sweater.
You were finishing that up on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm finished, and I didn't block it because I didn't want it to still be wet.
It looks really good on you.
I don't know, but it's nice and cushy
color
soft.
Is gorgeous.
Anyway, it's not very long, see, and I'm wearing it over a loose dress.
I love that detail.
The little
how the back is a little longer. Yeah.
I'm hoping that it'll be a little bit longer when I block it, but and it's definitely off the hoop.
Do you see that, guys?
Off the shoulder to here. So it's definitely got nice width and it's comfy cozy. It's not like you're uncomfortable because it's tight or anything.
So for those of you who want to know what yarn she used Flamingo from the DK Painted.
And Cha-Cha Cherry.
Yes.
Was it Cha-Cha Cherry or
it was
it the raspberry?
It was the raspberry one. Either would work.
Yes.
And since we're showing off what we're wearing, look at this. I'm wearing my coffee break shawl. This beautiful knit from our first knit along in the Year of Adventurous Knitting. And I kind of like it just over my shoulders.
I think it's a good idea for people that if you're getting the advent calendar, haha, it's looking good, but and you don't want to wait for a knit along in January or suggestions or whatever. Make yourself a coffee break shawl if you didn't get the advent calendar last year.
Yeah.
That'll be something that you can work on over the course of December if you're not madly knitting for gifts.
True. Okay, so you were going to show us what you're knitting.
Oh, well, I finished the pressed flower socks.
So cute.
One sock.
And that's your sweater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You could probably...
They match me too.
Yeah, our yarns coordinate nicely. Anyway, instead of doing it in two colors the way the pattern suggests, I incorporated 3 minis. So I started with a light pink, then I had like a variegated one, then I had the darker one like this.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the variegated one and then the light one. I think this is the equivalent.
Very close. I think this is the equivalent of the light one.
Maybe, yes.
Yeah. So it's almost like...
It's almost like those.
Almost like those.
And I went in and out of the colors, and the bottom of the sock, as I said on Sunday, I striped it instead of continuing the pattern on, and it actually made the sole like a little bit longer than the top of the foot, which is kind of nice for it to get around your heel. And
it adds yet another element of complexity to the sock.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would do it this way again, but I was afraid that having it thicker and a little bit bumpy on the bottom would be uncomfortable if you were standing or walking for any length of time. So I tried to do it this way. I've cast on the second one. I'm just on the first chart with the light pink flowers, and I have wound.
I want to talk about this before you show off what you're going to do next, which is so exciting. The pressed flower socks also come as a pressed flower hat and a pressed flower cowl.
And there's a pressed flower shawl and a pressed flower cardigan and a pressed flower.
Try saying that.
Susie sells, she sells, but she sells.
So what I want to do after I'm done my mittens and my headband, which I'm going to start very soon.
Oh, is make a hat?
No, because I'll have the headband. I'm going to make the cowl and possibly the cardigan. Then I'll have a whole outfit.
The thing with it all is that they're all different thicknesses of yarn.
That's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, I think that the cardigan is sport weight, so you could actually probably just do it in fingering because, or yeah, hold fingering with mohair.
It'd be a little thicker, but you know, then you just go down to needle size.
And that would be the same thing that you could do if you wanted to make the sweater because that's DK.
Mm-hmm.
And DK is also the shawl.
Right. So the cowl was
I don't know what the cowl is. I didn't even look. I just thought, well, it doesn't really matter. You can do it in whatever yarn you want and just make fewer. I think it's a 16-inch repeat, the pattern for on the socks. I don't know what it would be on the cowl. But you either put 16 more or 16 fewer stitches on your needles to compensate.
I don't know. I think it's just because I've done the embroidery.
I think it would look really good.
I'm obsessed now and I want to put flowers on everything. Like that cardigan I knit, the harvest cardigan in our Shetland worsted. I want to embroider flowers on it.
Why not?
I know. Guys, it's really addictive if you haven't gotten here yet.
Okay, so back to flowers in a different light. We did the Aster flower tee in the spring sweater knit along.
Yes.
And then I ran across a pattern for a very thick scarf using this. I'm going to use the Scandinavian super bulky, super chunky. And this is the colors that was suggested to me during our live
Oh God, they're
Sunday.
So vibrant. I love it.
So now I need to decide, do I make the background blue and the flowers white, or do I make the background white and the flowers blue? I think blue background and white flowers. And then if I have yarn left over, I might do a cowl in the opposite.
I think that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and somebody on Sunday said that she thought that the stitch was different. I think she meant the Aster stitch is different.
Okay.
But I can't imagine it being difficult, even if it is slightly different.
The Aster stitch, how did that go again? You made
five
stitches out of one?
Yeah.
Kind of like we do with the knot stitch, but then but you didn't put the stitches over.
Yeah, don't even ask me because I don't remember.
We're not there yet. The point being, we've all have the skills now in our knit along to do the Aster scarf, and
even if we do have to read the directions again.
Yeah.
At least you'll understand what they mean. So anyway, that'll be exciting, and we're trying to incorporate flowers in the whole thing because some people are probably done the mittens and the headband already.
Look.
Other people have only been slowed down by medical reasons.
I feel a cold coming on.
What do you mean cold coming on? For the last 3 days you've been saying, oh my God, I feel alcohol.
I'm sick. That's okay. What was I saying? Oh, and I've also been writing, guys. I mentioned it briefly last episode, so I thought, why not mention it again? This month of November is NaNoWriMo, which is an acronym for National Novel Writing Month. And the challenge...
It's absolute craziness month. That's what it is.
The challenge, as put forth by the creator ages ago, it's been going on for years and years, is to write 50,000 words in 1 month, which is the length of a novella. So by the time you are done the month, you have a novel. The first draft, obviously. Revisions will be necessary because you're basically just supposed to spew as much as you can. And I've worked it out that if I write 25 out of the 30 days of this month, 2,000 words a day, I'll have my novel. So
novella, first
draft. I'm on track. Kind of. Yeah, I've got 11,000 words.
Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I used to write during an exam. Because I would just spew everything I knew about the possible topic, no matter how remote. Sometimes it took 3 pages to get a point. It was like, oh my God, they want to know about this. Okay, what do I remember? And I'm just write.
I have the opposite problem. I want to
organize her mind first.
I want to organize my mind first. So.
And I just spew at the pen.
Yeah, but no, both methods are good. Sometimes you've got to spew and then organize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or leave it.
We complement each other just because we're different.
Yeah, totally. Opposite.
Okay, so don't forget to check back in the Facebook group or post to your own social media your progress. Hold yours up again, because we we really want to see it. And thank you for joining us again this week.
Yes, and join us tomorrow evening for Maker Circle. Then, if you haven't gotten around to posting, or if you've knit a lot more between now and then, we can see additional progress.
Right.
In
you
person.
Don't have to necessarily be working on the knit along to join us.
No, we just like knitting with people.
Yeah, and that is at 8 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time tomorrow evening. The link is in the Facebook event and also on our website.
Under events. Maker Circle. Click.
Okay.
See you there.
Okay, bye.
Be natural.
Be you.
Like me.
and me. Bye. But yourself.
Yes.